Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. I hope you're doing well. Well, Donald Trump has definitely been displaying some very awkward kind of behavior since the return of the government from being shut down. And it looks like the Democrats has immediately started showing things, like the emails. And of course, people have questions. And when you look through those emails, Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing Donald Trump. And, and I'm sure he feels a certain way about that, you know, but he seems to be avoiding all questions. Any reporter that now questions him on Epstein, he just straight up ignores them and goes to a reporter that may be asking other questions. So it's very obvious that it deeply disturbs him to talk about Epstein. And there's got to be many reasons for that he's not talking about. Now, I did hear um he told the Republican Party he had a meeting with them because they had some kind of emergency meeting when the emails came out up at the White House. He told the Republicans, everybody in the Republican Party, not to talk about the Epstein files. So he instructed them not to talk about it at all. But see, he can't do that with the Democratic Party. He can't do that. He can only do that with um am I crashing? Hold on. Okay, y'all, I just completely froze. So anyway, I'm back. Hopefully you can all hear me. And wow, it's a lot going on. Okay. So anyway, I don't even know where I left off, but let's get into the video. Hopefully I won't freeze again. I hope not. All right. One moment. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Are you prepared to negotiate with Democrats now? Jeffrey Epstein. Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today? Well done, Mr. President.
And we're going to work together and we're going to have some absolutely incredible results. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good Tom. Please be seated. Down. Down, please. Are you ready, everybody? This is it. Too late to change it. Should we sign it? Okay. Susie, do we sign this? Good. It's the first lady to sign rules.
No auto.
Seeds.
If guys can mention after
more crimes than the average native born citizen, and every single time he's around a child, he's abusing the power dynamics at play. Here's Melania Trump right here. She does not want to be at this event. Take a look.
For their unending advocacy. A special thank you to my husband for his enduring commitment to fostering the future. The president has prioritized America's foster care children, and shortly he will sign our Fostering the Future executive order.
Can I just remind you that only 2 hours ago, an article released showing that Matt Gaetz, a former Republican representative who resigned and who Donald Trump was going to make his attorney general to protect him, to protect Matt Gaetz, we found out that he was also preying on a homeless, vulnerable 17-year-old. So when they're talking about protecting vulnerable children, the Republican Party is currently the party of protecting people like that. I want to show you in just one moment Trump ignoring questions about the Epstein files, but take a look at Fox News. Stephanie Miller hopped on and immediately used her time to expose to the Fox News audience that Trump is littered throughout the Epstein files.
I thought it was funny, but if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't think it was as funny. So well done.
Thank you for being the only one on the right that gets the joke, Sean. It was a joke. And then, you know, the funniest thing about this story is Trump's all over the Epstein files. And I wonder if they're going to release that after the big bombshell. I didn't see anything about that on Fox News today. Yeah.
I heard Bill Clinton's.
Let's release them. Let's release those files. Is this what passes for news? Is this what passes for news on Fox News?
Did you kiss her feet?
What a weak response from Sean Hannity. If you heard him, he said, Bill Clinton is in the files. So, but nobody is sitting here, like, number one, defending Bill Clinton. Number two, Bill Clinton isn't drooling over himself, trying to play defense, scrambling to suppress any release of the Epstein files. Donald Trump is abusing his power, and every single MAGA commentator is legitimately curled up in a ball because they don't know how to spin this shit. They don't know how to spin the fact that the guy that they're trying to protect, the guy that they're trying to defend, definitely is protecting Jeffrey Epstein. Gavin Newsom said, your healthcare is about to triple in cost, and Donald Trump is focused on making the EEOB look like Mar-a-Lago barfed gold everywhere. Priorities. Not only is his approval rating dropping, not only is affordability something that he cannot grasp because he doesn't have the lived experience, but also this Epstein drama is blowing up in his face. The Democrats posted that newly released emails showed Jeffrey Epstein thought Trump was one of the worst people he knew, with, quote, not one decent cell in his bodies. He went on to describe Trump with one word, dangerous. Trump then ignored any questions about Epstein as he walked out of the room today. And just 24 hours ago, he did the same thing. When someone asked him about Epstein, he didn't answer.
Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today? Well done.
This is disgusting, and there's one through line that I want to keep pointing out. Okay, so all the MAGA commentators are ignoring this, but Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, all of the men in Congress, all of the white men who are MAGA commentators, it's mainly men protecting men, not to be that guy, but it is in this case. Mike Johnson is a through line between the protection of Matt Gaetz as a representative who was able to drop out, and now the protection of Donald Trump. Mike Johnson has been acting as a bulwark to protect Donald Trump, and Donald Trump isn't taking any of the answers. Meanwhile, he's walking through showing Laura Ingraham his new ballroom.
My greatest strength, actually. I might as well do this. So this room was in terrible shape. This was done by Jackie Kennedy.
This is some insane shit. Remember, Zohran Mamdani won his election a little over a week ago. It was on November 4th, and he won it on affordability. In the days following, Donald Trump wouldn't stop, uttering the word affordability. He was like, it's a new word. It's a new word that I'm going to start talking about, and we're going to fix. Then the Jeffrey Epstein scandal blew up in his face so harshly that he's losing control of the narrative. He legitimately has not posted on Truth Social in 24 hours. Look at 1 day ago was his last post. We've talked about this throughout the day. I was like, he hasn't posted in 15 hours, 20 hours, but now it has been an entire day. And what 36,000 mindless people liked Donald Trump's Truth Social that says, in other words, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try to deflect from their massive failures, in particular the shutdown. 36,000 dumbasses liked that. And keep in mind, at the end of the day, the shutdown is still going to favor Democrats, even though we took a momentum loss. Next month, the ACA subsidies, as cold as it sounds, next month, the ACA subsidies still expire, and Americans are going to feel that. Americans are going to know which party fought and which party fought to end the ACA subsidies, fought for their premiums to rise. Donald Trump is not going to be able to spin this affordability issue. He's having trouble spinning this Epstein issue. And meanwhile, he's just giving tours of the White House to Laura Ingraham. Every single day, we will continue to cover this on the Adam Mako channel because MAGA doesn't want you to think about the simple timeline. The simple timeline is this. In the early 2000s, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were best buddies. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell groomed Virginia Giuffre out of Mar-a-Lago, out of the Mar-a-Lago spa. Virginia Giuffre was then sex trafficked into Jeffrey Epstein's world. Donald Trump then said a few years later in an interview, Jeffrey Epstein likes them young. He likes them on the younger side. Donald Trump knew, and Jeffrey Epstein just confirmed that Donald Trump knew. Then, when they got back into office, Pam Bondi says, I have the files on my desk. Obviously, she didn't have the files on her desk because then they were gone randomly. Then apparently Donald Trump ordered the FBI to scrub his name out of the files and redact them because they sat him down and said, dude, you're all over these files. And now here we are today, just waiting for the discharge petition to then manifest into this vote.
We have some big news this morning. It's no longer just politicians that are breaking from Trump. It's his own base. After about 36 hours of silence online, Donald Trump posted for the first time this morning, calling the Epstein files another hoax. And in that comment section, I spent the past hour going through it. There are about over 1,000 comments as of this video. And a majority of the comments are from those around Donald Trump and his base, those who supported the president during his campaign and while he has been in office. And almost all of them are negative. And it's a major sign that those around the president feel as though they have a president who isn't fulfilling their promises as commander-in-chief. Remember, he ran on releasing the Epstein files, and yet he has not done so. At the same time, you have a president who is feeling increasingly isolated. He's a lame duck president, not running for a third term, not able to run for a third term. And Republicans on Capitol Hill are becoming increasingly likely to break from him. And this Epstein files vote is set to be a landslide victory for Democrats, for Republicans, and really for the truth. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to spread the word because people need to see this right now. So let's start with Donald Trump's post from this morning. Donald Trump posted on Truth Social this image or this video, the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And then it's a 6-minute monologue from Jesse Waters' show from last night on Fox News. That's all you got. After about 36 hours of silence from the president, this is what he posted in an effort to have Jesse Waters defend him through this video. And then I took a minute and I was like, let's go through the comments section. Because if you looked, he was getting almost ratioed with the amount of comments compared to the amount of likes. So let's start. Just release it all, Trump. You effing ran on that shit. Another one. You're a blank, Trump. At the point only your idiot fans still think you're innocent. Another one. You're losing the base. That Real Michael account is a Trump supporter, by the way, with that orange in the bio. Another one. You're an effing con man, and all these idiots who believe your bullshit are just that, idiots. You and your crew called for this like it was going out of style. Now that it doesn't serve your purpose anymore, it's a hoax. Release the files from Ron Phillips. Not guilty people don't have meltdowns over hoaxes. Donald Trump is guilty, and if you deny the actual evidence, then you're just blind to the truth. The only hoax going on is coming from Donald Trump and his administration. Once again, as Trump has stated himself, if you keep telling the lie, they will eventually believe you. Wake up. More. So these are some of the comments that you're seeing this morning in Donald Trump's Truth Social page. It's not good for him because more and more people are coming out against him. And now it's those who voted for him. You have dozens of comments overall showing a president who has a base that is willing to abandon him. I want to show you more because I think it's pretty stunning to see. Look at this.
Trump just went on the offensive instead of playing defense when it comes to the Epstein files. He's just now posted, now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown. Don't look here, look there. And all of their other failures, I will be asking Attorney General Pat Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Epstein's involvement with relationships to Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, J.P. Morgan, Chase, and many others and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam, which all arrows pointing to the Democrats, with all arrows pointing to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein on his island. That's what I mean. My video yesterday that got taken down, I called for this. Just release everything already. Who cares who's involved? If we nip it in the bud, they can't use it every time that they're in a chokehold and they fuck up. They can't be like, Epstein. It's like he's listening to me.
Boy, oh boy, Trump is panicking. And doesn't it show? See, he's over on True Social now calling Epstein a Democrat problem, as if the internet doesn't remember that Donald Trump was a Democrat and for many years, and that he and Epstein were so close that they were photographed partying, laughing, and even hosting events together at Mar-a-Lago. See, he thinks that you forgot that he said, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Likes women on the younger side." See, he thinks that you forgot Epstein was invited to Mar-a-Lago even after Donald Trump claims that they fell out. And he definitely hopes that you forgot the newly released email showing that Epstein and Trump were still communicating as late as 2017, long after their supposed rift. So no, Donald, honey, Epstein wasn't a Democrat problem. He was your friend. He was your guest, your neighbor, your fundraiser, and your social circle. And the louder Donald Trump yells hoax, the clearer it is that he is terrified of what's in those files, because the people screaming the hardest are always the ones with the most to lose.
Mr. President, you said earlier that Jeffrey Epstein was stealing young women. You said Jeffrey Epstein was stealing young women from your spa. Did that raise alarm bells for you? Did that raise alarm bells for you?
Couldn't answer that one, huh? It's so funny. I can't, but I can. I can, but I can. Love it. Love it. Keep on asking him, guys. Keep on asking him. Every chance you get. Every chance you get. Go, go, go. We're ready for you. Bye.
We have some major news right now. Donald Trump is now begging Republicans publicly to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. He wants them to stop. He said in a new Truth Social post minutes ago, Democrats are doing everything in their withering power to push the Epstein hoax again, despite the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents in order to deflect from all of their bad policies and losses, especially the shutdown embarrassment, where their party is in total disarray and has no idea what to do. Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, and he is Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. Ask Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, and Larry Summers about Epstein. They all know about him. Don't waste your time with Trump. I have a country to run. He is increasingly nervous. And folks, if it's a Democrat problem, and Jeffrey Epstein was a Democrat, and Trump could blame Democrats for something, you better believe he would have released the files by now. Just let that sink in. Spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow on stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
So Donald Trump is going on national television tonight at 9:45 p.m. He's either going to completely deny and try to distract the American people from the clear emails and damage of the Epstein files that are going to come down on his head, or he's going to take a play out of Nixon's handbook and he's going to resign, and he's going to have J.D. Vance issue him a pardon to protect him from any wrongdoings or criminal actions. One way or the other, his time as president is near.
All right, Trump supporters. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little conversation here. We're going to talk about distraction. Distraction meaning that that's what the Trump administration is doing. Donald Trump has nailed his ass to the coffin. There is no two ways about that. This son of a bitch is going to go to prison. And let me just explain something. If he gets out of this Jeffrey Epstein thing, you can absolutely 100% know that this government is more crooked than you thought. And also, you can also know how corrupt Donald Trump is. I just think it's interesting, just a tidbit of shit here, that Jeffrey Epstein ended up committing suicide, okay? Also, one of the ladies that is actually inside of those emails committed suicide this year as well. I'm not saying nothing. I'll let you read into that. But it's awful funny how people are starting to fucking disappear when his name is attached to shit. That's all I'll say about it. You're smart enough to figure that one out on your own. If you voted for this man, if you literally voted for this man, I don't give a fuck, family, friend, foe, you can fuck yourself. This is a crook. This is a criminal. This is a sex predator. This guy's messed with underage kids, and you supported this. I look at you totally fucking different now. MAGAs, thanks for fucking us.
Well, the orange buffoon is absolutely panicking over this Epstein stuff. Now that the government has reopened and Congresswoman Grijalva has been sworn in and signed the discharge petition, which will now force a vote on releasing the Epstein files, Trump is panicking and he is begging Republicans to bail him out. Here's what he just posted on Truth Social. He said, "The Democrats are doing everything in their withering power to push the Epstein hoax again, despite the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents in order to deflect from all their bad policies and losses, especially the shutdown embarrassment, where their party is in total disarray and has no idea what to do. Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, and he is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. Ask Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, and Larry Summers about Epstein. They all know about him. Don't waste your time with Trump. I have a country to run."
The only thing Donald Trump is concerned about is himself. He don't give a shit about this country. Look at what he's done the whole time he's been in office. This country is in probably the worst shape I've ever seen it in my lifetime. So his concern is only for himself. It's not for no Epstein file. Now he just wants that to go away and everybody stop talking about it and act like it never happened. Well, that's not going to happen as long as folks got access. And from what I understand, the Democrats got access to the Epstein file and they intend on releasing more things. So these 20,000 emails, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more to come. And Epstein said in those emails that he gave stuff to Putin and other people. So, the DOJ is not the only one that got information on the Epstein files. And just looking at the emails, Jeffrey, towards the end, he couldn't stand Donald Trump. So they went from having a friendship to falling out, and he said Donald Trump was a horrible human being. But then again, Jeffrey Epstein was too. He trafficked what he did to children. He trafficked children. Come on. Both of you are horrible human beings as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, well, as far as Donald Trump going to jail, I have to see it to believe it. this whole time, y'all act like you're scared to do anything to Donald Trump. And he's sitting there breaking all kinds of laws every single day. Donald Trump is breaking all kinds of laws. And the only thing both parties have done is sit in fear while he just steamrolls over everybody. So him going to jail, I'm not going to put too much into that. And as far as him, because people are talking about him resigning, Donald Trump ain't going to resign. He ain't going to resign. If he is taken out of office, you can best believe it's going to be by force. He is not going to willingly give up that presidency. That's why he wants it, because it gives him immunity. The moment he don't have it, that's why he was in court after he was out of office fighting for immunity, and they told him, no, you can't have immunity. You're now considered a regular citizen. And yeah, so now he would have to give up that immunity. No, he's going to leave. If he does, it'll be kicking and screaming. But him going to jail, I don't think they got the balls to put Donald Trump in jail. I don't think they got the balls to do it. So y'all, I got some really good ones coming up for you tomorrow. Now, some of you have heard about Megyn Kelly and her defending Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to be talking about that. And we're also going to talk about Bubba, who Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark, said Donald Trump blew Bubba. So we're going to get into that tomorrow. So y'all, thank you so much for being here. I deeply appreciate it. It's now Sabbath is over where I am. I'm over on the East Coast, but I know those of you on the West Coast, you're still in your Sabbath. So Shabbat Shalom to you and everybody on the East Coast. Shalom.